Dave, it's great to have you on the show again.
Oh, it's always so great.
All right. So it is time to ask you a trivia question about the show. Dave,
I'm ready. I am so psyched and prepared.
How many episodes have we had
86.
to take down because the contestant asked us to? How many episodes have we had to take down because the contestant asked us to, Dave?
Well, there was that 4 times that it didn't record, but that's not what this question is.
No, that's not what this question is. You know what, Dave? I actually know you don't know the answer to this.
My answer is 0.
That is incorrect, David. The answer is 3 times. We had to take down episodes because the contestants asked us to.
That's
all right,
a sad story.
Everybody out there, check us out at Six Unseemly on all social media and unseemlyquestions.com. Let's get the show started.
Six Unseemly Questions!
Welcome to Six Unseemly Questions. I'm your host, Victor Varnado. This is my sidekick, Dave Rosinsky. We've got a great contestant on the show today. It's Sarah Hartshorne. Come on up, Sarah Hartshorne. How are you?
It's me.
Great to see you. In our studio audience this week is Yamanika Saunders and Weiwei. Welcome to the show, Yamanika Saunders and Weiwei. You're both wonderful for being here. Thank you very much. So, Sarah, I'm going to tell you the rules of the show, and then I'm going to get started with the show. Here are the rules. I'll ask you 6 unseemly questions. At the end of each question, I will ring a bell if I like your answer, like this. However, if I do not like your answer, I will not ring the bell, and I'll tell you why. Regardless of how many bells you get at the end of the show, I will decide whether or not your appearance on the show is worth giving you $5 whole. All right, Sarah, it's time for question number 1. Question number 1. Do you still use the moniker American Moose Woman?
I do.
You do?
I think it's my Instagram bio.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
Dave, do you know where American Moose Woman comes from?
No, I have no idea what the reference is.
Okay, so Dave, on this show, which you were part of, and you were there when this actually happened, Sarah was on this show previously, and I called her American Moose Woman, and then she added it to her Twitter bio.
It was like in the content. It wasn't like.
All right, yes, I remember.
No, I wasn't I didn't come out the gate yelling American Moose Woman.
And I honestly can't really remember what it was. It also wasn't. It was like you mentioned America and then Moose Woman, and it all came together. It was beautiful. It was great.
It was. I think we were talking about. Like, how tall are you? You're tall, right?
I'm 5'11". Yeah.
Yeah, you're 5'11". We were talking about it, and then something came, and eventually we arrived at American Moose Woman. She didn't just show up, and I was like, American Moose Woman. That's not how.
But I love it because I'm very New England, and I'm very ungainly, and like best left alone, and will go down at the knees, but also might cause a big destruction if that happens. So it's
we're talking about hair mousse, right? The mousse you put in your hair.
Yes, but that's because that's a separate sponsorship deal. Also the animal. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give you a bell because I'll tell you why. It's because you described yourself as ungainly.
It's accurate.
That's worth it.
It's funny watching Yamanika playing Fortnite because it looks like her soul is leaving her eyes. She's just in another place. All right, it is time.
On the battlefield.
It looks like a school picture the way she's looking up too.
It does kind of look like a glamour portrait at the mall.
It's like your graduation picture.
Yeah.
It is time for question number 2. Question number 2. Are you constantly bombarded with inappropriate DMs?
No.
You're not?
No, not really.
I would think that you would be.
Honestly, I would as well. Sometimes friends.
Go ahead, you first.
I'm like, oh no, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But no, just sometimes friends post their DMs, and I'm like, man, I mean the occasional, but I definitely would not call it a bombardment.
Mm-hmm. The reason I thought is not because you're an attractive person, but because on top of that, you have a very sexualized Instagram.
Oh yeah. I love a good thought picture. I know. I post a cleave.
Yeah.
Now and again.
I know it's not. I'm not saying that it's bad at all. But it is definitely a sexualized Instagram.
Yeah, less so recently, I feel like. Maybe that's not even true. But yeah, I thought I would. Honestly, some of my cis male friends get the weirdest DMs, and I'm surprised, and I mean grateful. I'm glad I get good DMs.
Oh, I always get DMs where people want to be my friend and they give no reason that I should want to be their friend. Those are most of my DMs.
Victor, is your inbox stuffed?
As you can imagine, I it's probably a good idea to just ignore Dave at this time.
Okay. I did.
Right, what is it, 3:00?
So I'm going to say Bell on that question. I'll tell you why is because I was genuinely surprised because I thought I was like, I know what this answer is going to be. And I was 100% wrong.
No.
All right. It is time for question number 3. Question number 3. What are you like in a fight?
In a physical fight or in a verbal fight?
Physical, you can choose however you want to answer.
I have never been in a real like knockdown, drag out physical fight. I've had like minor, fisticuffs. I don't know if that's the right word. But I don't know what I would be like in a real,
brawl,
like a real knockdown,
like a
drag
street
out, like
brawl.
Yeah.
Would you bring a weapon, like a chain or a spiked bat?
I can't really imagine a scenario where I would. I do have multiple things in my apartment at opportune places in case someone breaks in. Like I have like a knife by my bed. I have a baseball bat by the door, and then I have a mallet somewhere else.
Oh, nice. You got it all covered. Yeah,
so I have it because I am like a little neurotic and afraid someone's going to break in, but I don't know what I would be like. One time, I'm going to be honest. One time I did get attacked on the street and I did not fight back nearly as much as I thought I would. But he was also bigger than I was. So I think I like in the fight or flight situation, my reaction was to try and joke my way out of it.
And try and joke. Actually, I've always heard fight, flight, or freeze.
Yeah. I froze awkwardly. Yeah.
Do you regret not fighting back now? Is that why you got all the weapons?
No, I had them before. I actually, the mallet was a high school graduation present, and the bat I found like years ago. So that's like old instincts, I think.
What were you in shop class?
Was I in shop class? No.
All right, I'm gonna ring this bell, and I'll tell you why. It's because I thought that was the conversation got very, very real, and I appreciate that.
Oh
yeah. It is now time for question number 4. Question number 4. Are there people who don't matter?
Wow, that is a good and hard question. Let me think about it. No, I don't think there are. I think that every person is on some scale, if you zoom in or out to the right place, infinite. And even if it was possible for someone to not matter to any other human, they still were born and they still died, and that was still an infinite, huge event. So no, I don't think anyone can not matter.
All right. I think I would probably say that for me, I would say that I think that I think that everyone does matter, but I don't care about everyone.
Right. I think if you zoom out enough, no one matters. And so if that's the case, then everyone has to matter on some, right? Like if you can zoom out enough and no one can matter, that means that if you zoom in to the right place, everyone matters. So
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. And this is actually funny. I actually wrote this phrase that nothing is sacred because everything is stupid. And in fact, if you search for that in quotes, you will find me, because it's been my just like I think my bio on Twitter for like ever. And it's because I basically believe that 100% that everything matters and nothing matters because people choose what matters to them.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? Here you go. A bell.
That's a great bio.
Thanks. And the American Moose Woman thing's also a great bio.
Yeah, bio writer. Yeah.
It is time for question number 5. Question number 5. What was your first pet?
My first pet that I had was a dog. When I was 2 years old, my dad came in to wake me up and I was already awake. And I said, Dad, someday I'm going to have a dog named Shucks. And he said, okay. And then when I was 4, we went to the pound and we got my dog named Shucks. And she was the best dog in the world. She was amazing. She and I were in the same talent show as Kurt Vonnegut. She could sing Amazing Grace. And she also she was like Houdini. She could get out of any door. And so we could never like keep her inside. So she would come visit me when I was at school and she figured out how to get into the school. She like found a hole in the fence. And so she would come visit me on my lunch hour. All right. So which I realize is not what you call it when it's kids, but
my follow-up question is the multiple choice.
Okay.
So are you telling me that you said you're going to have a dog named Chucks when you were 2, and then at 4 you went to the pound and you adopted a dog and named it Chucks?
Yeah.
Or okay, great.
Yeah, I named it Chucks. She was a puppy.
Okay.
I thought you were saying that, at 2 I was psychic and I knew that I was going to have a dog named Shucks.
That would have been amazing if she'd come with the name. But no.
I didn't know which one was true. I didn't know I had to ask because I didn't know which one was true.
I assumed that she wasn't psychic at 2. That's why I didn't ask.
I was creepy when I was 2, though. I would say weird, creepy, not psychic stuff, but like, I don't know. One time I turned to my dad and I guess I said something creepy about his grandma. And I also one time turned to someone and I was like, oh, don't worry about it. I went through the same thing when I was 18 and I was like 3 years old or something. So I wasn't psychic, but I was creepy. Creepy kid.
Wow. It's really scary on the show.
Were you saying something, Yamanika?
I was wondering if it was more like it sounded like Lassie for a moment. I was like, wow, how amazing this story is. The dog came to you, knew how to get to your school. And
she did. She also knew how to get to my mom's house. She knew how to get to she would go wherever I was because she lived with my dad, but she would come visit me at my mom's house. It was like a children's book. Like sometimes
it's a good dog right there.
Yeah. Oh, she was the best dog. I know that I romanticize it because I was a kid and that's what you do, but like she was a good dog.
Right, she was a good dog.
Victor believes in psychics but not astrologers.
That's actually incorrect, Wei. I was asking if she was telling me she was psychic. I didn't know what she was saying, but not saying that I believe in.
Sadly, not psychic.
What do you believe in, Victor?
I could not give you a bell.
Oh.
No.
What?
I'm listening.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Sarah.
All of us.
Okay. I'm offended on behalf of my dog, but not of myself.
All right. It is wait, I have to make a decision on that. And I'm going to say I'm gonna give a bell.
Oh.
I'll tell you why. Because it sort of like fell apart at the end. And so I just figured out I'd give a bell to just like bring everything back together.
Bring it back together. That's fair. I'll take it. I'll take a cohesion pity bell.
Yes, it is a cohesion pity bell. And Wei is gone. All right, it is time for question number 6. Question number 6. How would you get away with murder?
Yeah, how? How would you do that?
I would kill someone in a town, in a place that I did not plan to return to and had never been to before, but that was fairly familiar to me. Like I would research it beforehand on Google Maps, on Google Street Maps. I'm just spitballing this. I'm just like thinking this through right now. But if it sounds like I planned it, I didn't. But yeah, somewhere where I could research it on Google Maps so I could have like an escape plan ready.
Have you ever been to Yonkers before?
I have been to Yonkers, yeah.
So that's
everyone in Yonkers is safe. No, I'm talking like somewhere in a different state, like very far away.
Like Canada.
Yeah. If I could, I mean, really, I would try and do it somewhere that doesn't have, what's it called?
New Jersey.
No, like internationally, like countries, if you commit a crime in another country and you go home and then
immunity.
They like can't ship you back. They can or can't ship you back. I would do it in a country where we don't have that. So if I left the country, I was good. even if I got caught.
I see. Like you can't be extradited.
Like extradited, yeah, where I can't be extradited. But barring that, I would do it in like a small town, in like another state where I can't return. And the thing that I always feel like in crime shows gets people is like cars. Like, you know, they track the car somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would have to have a reason for being there, and I would not use my rental. Like I would have a rental car, but I would not use it during the crime. I would leave it parked somewhere so that if they found out that I rented a car, they'd be like, okay, but it stayed at her hotel or whatever.
You have to consider the forensic evidence too.
Yeah. And then I would do it I would try and like have as little to dispose of as possible, I guess. So like doing it with something like a weapon of opportunity, like a rock or something, I guess. Wow. I'm not one of those true crime people, but I have like, it's so part of our culture and it's so it's like, I'm not a big true crime person, but I still have watched enough that I am like racking my brain and going through all of it right now.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because you imagine yourself as like a killer who just would kill a random person rather than a killer who would kill somebody at like a crime of passion or justice.
Well, I don't think I would. I don't think, I mean, who knows? You never know. You can't really know yourself like that well, but I don't see that as being, I don't see myself as ever killing someone in a crime of passion. So if it was like, okay, you have to kill someone and you have to get away with it, this is how I would do it.
All right. Yeah. I am going to say no bell. And I'll tell you why. It's because I think the idea of you just killing a random person is cheating. All right. So no bell on that question.
Okay.
All right. We've asked you 6 questions. It's time to decide whether or not you're going to get $5. But before we do that, can you tell people out there where they can find you?
Well, I promise I won't find you and that I'm not a creepy murderer, despite all of my plans that I just outlined. You can find me on social media. It's just my name, Sarah B. Hartshorne, Sarah. B as in boy, Hartshorne, Hartshorne, on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Find me. Yeah, my website is the same. That's all.
All right.
Okay.
And then now it is time to decide whether you get $5. As always, we canvass the room. Let's start with Dave. What do you think? Should Sarah get $5?
I thought she had a really good in-depth plan there. Like she's got this all figured out already. I'm not sure why she didn't get the bell on that question, but I hope she does still get the $5.
She didn't get the bell on that question because I ruled she was cheating.
It's cheating. Yeah.
Oh, cheating.
But I like everyone that I know. I don't want to kill them. I don't like everyone, but I don't want to kill them.
You just don't like strangers, and that's why you want them dead.
Yeah.
I think it's really also funny how much time you are spending trying to convince people that you wouldn't kill them now.
No one believes you
just
anymore.
So you know, I'm not going to kill you.
Just so you know, I'm not.
It's a little too late, Sarah.
I just have a flawless plan to kill a random stranger. That's who does it?
And Yamanika Saunders, what do you think? Should Sarah get $5?
Oh my God, she was so entertaining and very, very quick. Very quick. I know people right now that I want to murder, and I have no plan for it. So for that alone, $5, yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
$5, yes.
Very behind you getting $5, though she did not get $5 on her episode.
Ooh.
Wow.
I'm not vengeful.
Yeah.
That's true. I've seen it with my own eyes. And let's ask Rachel, our producer. Rachel, what do you think? Should Sarah get $5?
I really liked hearing about her dog. And for that reason alone, she should get $5.
Thank you.
Right.
You're welcome.
Great. Very straightforward. Rachel, I guess we'll see you later. Peace, everybody. Rachel wanted you to know. Peace.
Peace to you as well.
Threw up those fingers at the end. All right. So Sarah, what do you think? Should you get $5?
I think that I should. And I'm going to tell you why. And that is that I want it.
Oh,
right.
really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
That you
Yeah.
want the $5. Well,
do.
Wow.
Instead of not getting it. Yeah.
It's very Veruca Salt of you.
I'm going to say no $5.
No.
Because you laughed at Dave's joke.
I would do it again.
No $5. But thank you so much for being on this.
Missing out.
All right, let's wrap this show up. Dave, what did you learn from this week's show?
What was that dog's name again?
Shucks.
Oh yeah, Shucks. I learned that you should dress for the dog you want, and that's it. And you'll get Shucks one day.
All right, please check us out at Six Unseemly on all social media and unseemlyquestions.com. Everybody.
Starburns Audio, a podcast network.